How's it going? This is Jason, aka Director Nola, aka Vaughn Nola, and today is what is today? Today is April 3rd, 2020 on a Friday, and it is 0903 here in South Korea. Yes, I am back in South Korea. Jamie and me, we are back from our trip from New Orleans, and we got back actually on April 1st, but we didn't actually make it back to the house until yesterday, April 2nd at like around 9 p.m. And long story. All right. So overall, yes, Jamie and me, we went to New Orleans. She got to see her nana, which is like her grandma. She got to see her uncle. She got to see her cousins. We didn't do as much interaction like we planned originally. Like I had plans to take her to the Children's Museum, to some of the art museums, to the zoo, aquarium, have play dates with our cousins, and we were supposed to go to this big like reception for my brother's and his wife's wedding, but because of COVID-19, that stuff got killed. All right, so instead we pretty much hung out in the house with my mother because that's who we were staying with. But good thing about it, Jamie got to bond a lot with her nana, and it was a beautiful thing. I got to catch up on a lot of sleep. For those of you who know, I don't really sleep much. I probably on average, I was getting to the point in sleeping between. Sometimes I wasn't sleeping at all. Like I would go a full 24 hours of no sleep, just go from work to my side business, Song Song Mugs, then back to work, which is the Air Force job. So I was just burning the candle on both ends, dealing with some, which isn't healthy. So for me, being home, it was a good time for me to get some caught up sleep. I was able to every now in the mornings go for some runs because it is okay to go out. It was okay to go outside just to go for runs, because you're still maintaining social distance, right? But other than that, we ate a lot of good food, a lot of shrimp po' boys, a lot of daiquiris. Like I said, Jamie got the experience on that. She got to hang out every now and then just to get out the house a little bit. We would go ride around looking at stuff, but we was in the car, right? So once again, we was maintaining social distance. So we was there in the States for 21 days. And so we were there for 21 days. And then, like I said, we left New Orleans. You okay, honey?
Yes, I want to pee.
Okay. So we flew out of New Orleans, New Orleans airport on March 31st, right? And then, we had a transfer to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta went straight to Incheon, which is in Seoul. So the original plan, because during this whole time while in the States, I was in communication with my shop back here at Ulsan Air Force Base, and they were telling me, hey, look, you need to, because like I said, I've been living in Korea I've been stationed in Korea since 2013. So me, I'm very familiar on how to get around on the public transportation system. I don't normally use the base buses because I know how to get around. So my plan was for Jamie to land, and we was gonna go catch the city bus from Incheon Airport and go to Songtung, which is where we live at. And the person I was in contact with, he was like, nope, you can't take public transportation. You have to take the base bus. All right, cool. So plan was to take take the base bus from the airport to Ulsan, and then get a ride from the shop to bring Jamie and me home, because we had like 2 suitcases and a stroller. So yeah, because at first we were gonna take a taxi, but I guess taxi service stopped running. So that's why the shop said, hey, look, just get the Ulsan Air Base and we'll take care of getting you home. Cool. So that was the original plan. So we land April 1st, 2020 here in Incheon International Airport. And I ain't never did so much paperwork in such a short amount of time since BMT. I'll put it that way. So we had to fill out all these papers. Well, I had to fill out all these papers. Jamie just sat in the stroller most of the time. So I had to fill out all these papers talking about where we came from, what airport. Huh? You want to what? I thought you was in the restroom. Hold on. So yeah, so that was the original plan, for us to land, catch the base bus from Incheon Airport to Ulsan Air Base, and get transportation to go home. But that didn't happen. We landed. We had to go through a whole line for like quarantine type stuff that was put on by the Korean government. We had to fill out a lot of paperwork. We had to download this app that we have to use every day to report our daily diagnosis to make sure that we are healthy and good to go since we are, since we came from overseas. And yeah, so we got past the quarantine part, which is all, we got done all the paperwork. They check your temperature. They ask all these questions, sometimes the same questions at different stations. I think we went through about, before hitting the immigration desk, we hit 2 separate stations, all right? And then before the 2 stations, there was people who was like kind of like having us in line with really was no social distance either, by the way. That's one thing. But other than that, so before we got to the 2 stations in the quarantine, we was told to download this app that everyone needs to use to answer questions even via the app. So pretty much the same questions we had to write down on pieces of paper, we had to also download the app and answer those same questions in the app, and then also do our self-diagnosis in this app, which we use pretty much for the next 14 days. And I'll talk about the next 14 days. So download the app, got to the first station. They go over these papers saying, okay, cool. Then I didn't know I had to do one for Jamie too, a separate paper. So that I had to get out of line and then do another separate page for Jamie. All right. So they got back in line, and then so clear the first station. Then we went to the second station, where you had to wait in line for that. And it was pretty much the same questions. Pretty much the same. The question they asked is where you was at. Let me see your passport ID. I don't have a passport because I don't need one to get here in Korea because I'm stationed here. So I just gave my military ID. They want to know where you're staying at, so you had to give them an actual address so they could track you behind, and you had to give them a phone number. Right. So that's pretty much the same thing they kept asking at each station. Where are you going? Where you living at? We need a phone number. How long your stay is, and this and that. So pretty much that was the asked at both stations. So we got to those 2 quarantine stations. Then we went to the immigration. So immigration was different than normal. It wasn't really that many people in the line, so it was kind of fast to get through. But for all the Americans, they corralled us. Pretty much most Americans, especially if you was like military, they corralled you to this one guy at line 1. And once he found he was military, they gave you this yellow badge that you had to wear, and it was given other foreigners like this maroon color badge. So we made it to immigration. Then we went and picked up our bags. So as we walk out the doors, there's people, Korean officials, standing there looking for those badges that they gave us, right? And it was like, oh, military, you have to go over here. First, they ask again, where's your passport, and this and that. Same stuff all over again. So keep in mind, we just got asked about passports 3 stations ago. And then as soon as we walk out the baggage claim area, they actually again, let me see your passport and this and that. And then also they seen your, like the badge they gave you. So they say, hey, you got to go over here. I was like what? Okay, yeah, you have to go here. So they corralled us over to this other section, and then these Korean guys who spoke English, they say, hey, so today, they say, where are you going? They said, going to Ulsan Air Base. How you getting there? We said, through the bus. They said, well, starting today, April 1st, the new rule is that all military people have to get tested there at the airport, and they had these test tents set up. So they say you had to get tested here at the airport, and then you have to get on a bus that's going to take you to like a 24-hour holding facility while you wait for your results. All right. So like I said earlier, that wasn't the original plan. The original plan was for Jamie to land, go catch the base bus from Incheon, and go to Ulsan, and then go from Ulsan, go home. This was like a blind side. So I called my leadership, and leadership was like, okay, just do what they said. Don't fight it, which we did. So we did what the people said. I said, okay, cool. My leadership said, just do what you guys say, and we did it. So we did the test, and so we did the test, and man, if you haven't been tested for COVID-19, let me tell you something. If you got a gag reflex or something, it is not no comfortable thing. When I tell you, they take this long Q-tip and stick it down your throat. Or they got like the flat little popsicle stick, hold your tongue down, take the long Q-tip, and down your throat. You're like, and they leave it there. And the girl there, she did it a little bit longer than I don't think she needed to do, right? And then they take another long Q-tip and they stick it in your nose, and then uncomfortable. I'll tell you that, right? So then they had to do Jamie. They didn't do Jamie's nose, thank God. But we struggled to get the thing down her throat, so they just kind of got like the mid tongue. He said, all right, cool, she's done. So we did the test, and then we got walked over to another area where we had to go wait to get put on a bus. So we got put on a bus. So this is the thing that kind of made it longer. So we landed, I want to say, by the time we got done with all that, it was roughly, I want to say roughly probably 4:30 or 5 o'clock. All right. So we was sitting on this bus for hours just waiting, like what's taking so long. I'm gonna say probably 5:30, 6 o'clock. We was there waiting. We didn't like probably actually leave the airport because it was, so I want to say probably we probably got, so after all the testing we probably got done like around 6 o'clock, right? Probably 5:30, 6 o'clock. So it was me, some other people, military lady got put on the bus. Even if you wasn't military but you was associated to the base, you got put on our bus. Then there was another whole separate bus for just regular foreigners coming to Korea. So they separated us. They separated the military affiliate people from the regular foreigners, and had us on two separate buses, right? So we was waiting like a long time. We finally made it to the holding facility like around like 9 o'clock p.m. All right, that's what time we made it there. So you have all these people. Now, I was the only person with, I had my Jamie, she's 3, and the other person had kids too, but the other people. So we just got done flying from the States to here, waiting on that bus. And then we finally got to the 24-hour holding facility at like at 9 o'clock. Now, honestly, the facility was nice compared, because we didn't know. Like, nobody really knew. We asked the people who's calling our bases. They didn't really know what's going on. They just say, hey, just comply with this saying. Don't fight them. Just do it. You know, they're not gonna hurt you. But you know, everyone's like, oh, you're supposed to go to this hotel. So it wasn't a hotel, but what it was is like a training facility that the Korean government used to train, think like their police forces and stuff like that. So it was a real nice. It's kind of like, it was like a dorm, but a real nice dorm. So once again, get there, they ask the same thing: what's your passport? Where you going? Where you coming from? The whole spiel, right? And so we got assigned to our room, which was a nice room. Real nice room. It was like two twin size beds, a little mini fridge. We had our own private bathroom. They even brought us meals, and they said, hey, we're gonna leave the meal. So what they'll do for meals, they will leave the meals outside your door, and then they will leave, and you open up. Or they normally come on the intercom, but because we got in so late, they didn't want to wake other people who was already there. They just told us, hey, we're gonna bring food up and just check outside the door and get it. And they did. They brought meals for Jamie and me, and yeah, it was pretty nice. Jamie knocked out almost as soon as she touched the bed. She was done. She's like, oh. Didn't even waste no time. She went to sleep. But so next day, we was waiting. You know, it was a lot of waiting pretty much, because we was waiting for them to tell us if our results were good to go. So they came on intercom saying, hey, we just placed your breakfast outside your door. Please go and get your meal. And yeah, all right. So we did that. Then at like 9:25, they came on the intercom and said, hey, all of you guys, test came back negative. The buses will come and pick you up to take you to these two different train stations that you can choose at around 9:40. Now, as military people, we can't go to those train stations, right? So yeah, we couldn't go. So the army had some army people there, and you had us Air Force people there. They wanted the army guys. They got their stuff together real quick, and they got a bus together to come pick up. They're supposed to come pick up all of us, but they're gonna take us to Camp Humphreys. Now, Osan people aren't allowed. We're not supposed to go to Camp Humphreys. It's off limits. So we couldn't catch that bus. All right. So we had to arrange. It was me and another Air Force guy. So we had to arrange our transportation through Osan leadership to come pick us up. So the Camp Humphreys guys ended up leaving like around 2 o'clock. and us, the Osan, no, say the Army guys, because not everyone that was Army was associated with Camp Humphreys. So the Army people left like around 2 o'clock, but us Air Force people, that Osan, our transportation finally got to us like around 8 p.m. Our transport picked up, finally came and got us. After everything got settled on whatever had to get settled. So Jamie, we got home pretty much like around like 9:30 last night. Yep. So we finally got home like around 9:30, and then once we got home, that started our 14 days. So that started our 14 days of quarantine here at home. So technically this is day 2. I just talked to you kind of like about day 1. So we got home, we pretty much got home because we was tired. And we was like, you know what, let's go to sleep. So we ended up going to bed pretty early. So we ended up going to bed pretty early last night, and now we're here, right? It is now April 3rd. This is day 2 of our quarantine. And we now have 12 more days to go. The next video, so this video is me talking about day 1. The next one will be me talking about day 2, talking about things that we did, talking about some plans and things I want to try to do while quarantine for 14 days, because we cannot leave the house. We are confined to our apartment. Now, don't feel too sorry for me, because there's people who are quarantined in a dorm room. Right? We're in a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. You see, this is our living room, kitchen. So, I mean, yeah, we might get a little bit stir crazy, but at the same time, we're not in a dorm room, because the guy who was with us, he's going to a dorm room, and he said, like, apparently he has yard time, like how prisons have, where he can go outside for a short amount of time just to walk around and then go back to his dorm room. And he's not even going to his own dorm room. He's going to a dorm that was for quarantine. So our situation is a little bit different. We have an apartment. What's wrong, honey? Other than that, thanks for watching. Let me go now tend to my daughter. Stay tuned for the next video, which will be me talking about day 2 of quarantine. If you haven't, please subscribe, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.